To understand the scale of Angkor Wat, look at its physical footprint. This single complex covers 162.6 hectares. That is enough space to swallow dozens of modern city blocks, making it the largest religious monument on Earth. The site was constructed in the 12th century under King Suryavarman II. He commissioned these outer walls and the iconic five-tower central structure as the crown jewel of the Khmer Empire. At its inception, it operated as a Hindu shrine, built and dedicated specifically to the god Vishnu. The size of the complex is so significant that in 1985, it earned a Guinness World Record. When a civilization builds a stone complex of this magnitude, the idea that locals could completely forget its existence defies logic. Yet for decades, popular history has treated Angkor Wat as a lost ruin, a place reclaimed by the jungle and hidden from humanity for centuries. This narrative centers on French explorer Henri Mouhot, who is widely credited with quote-unquote discovering the site in 1860. Mouhot returned with detailed journals and intricate drawings. These illustrations captivated Victorian Europe. The thick foliage crowding the lower columns in these engravings helped sell the idea of a temple swallowed by nature. But the record shows that Mouhot's role as the first to document the site is a historical fiction. So who actually arrived first? The myth of the lost city stems from the 14th century Siamese invasions that destabilized the Khmer Empire. Facing military pressure, King Panhe Yat made the strategic decision to abandon the Angkor region around 1388 CE, moving the political capital and leaving the temple exposed. The jungle did encroach on the perimeter, with thick roots woven through the ancient stonework. However, the core structures remained visible and accessible. While the political administration moved, the physical presence of the monument remained a fixture in local memory. By 1540, King Ang Chan launched a military pushback against the Siamese and returned to the Angkor region. His return marked a transition from the site's Hindu roots to its new life as a Buddhist pilgrimage destination. Physical proof of this shift remains inside the temple chambers. Worshippers added new religious figures to the space, like these standing Buddhas, modifying the architecture to suit their faith. Faded paintings of boats left directly on the walls by these inhabitants further confirm the site was occupied during this era. These physical alterations and hidden pieces of art show the temple was an evolving space for new generations of worshippers, long before Mouhot arrived. The site was also a documented international destination. In 1586, Portuguese Catholic friar Antonio de Magdalena visited and recorded the temple's layout. His detailed descriptions of the complex's towers prove that European eyes had evaluated the architecture nearly 3 centuries before the 1860 expedition. In 1632, Japanese merchant Kenryo Shimano traveled to the site, creating sketches that mapped the walled layout and the surrounding moat. Even among the French, missionary Charles-Émile Bouilleveau published his findings in 1850, a full decade before Mouhot's trip. This continuous stream of documentation places the temple as a known international destination, decades and centuries before the expedition that supposedly found it. Henri Mouhot's role was that of a popularizer. He was a nature photographer whose work arrived exactly when Victorian Europe was hungry for exotic tales. There is a tragic note to his expedition. Mouhot died of malaria in Laos in 1861, shortly after documenting the temple. The posthumous popularity of his journals overshadowed centuries of established Asian and European historical records. The myth of the overgrown ruin ignores the continuous cultural and ceremonial life that has always surrounded the site. The temple survived the collapse of an empire, a change in religion, and the encroachment of the jungle. The stone towers remained central to the region's identity, outlasting the cycles of the jungle and the empires that built them.